And we're back with some more Astro Colony. I just couldn't put this one down. I had to come back and just try out a few more things. This here is just some auto mining that's going on. These things are they're going along and grabbing us some. What was it again that we were collecting over here? Aluminum ore or aluminium, depending on what part of the Atlantic you're from. And I have it all just sort of coming into this container down here at the very end. So all of these little bots fly into this asteroid, rip out all the titanium, bring it back. It gets chucked along these transport belts for us, and then, well, we could bring it back over to our base, but nah, I'm usually just manually grabbing all the stuff and dumping it in here. It's a bit manual, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need that much aluminum just yet. What I thought I'd do is just go through, well, how we're taming some of these islands that we're coming across. Because getting power and getting stuff across here is all a pain in the butt, but I've discovered a few things that'll help us out. First off, getting power across. I figured out how to do it, though it's not very intuitive. The first thing you want to get your hands on is these things down here, these little harpoon connectors. Turns out the harpoons are the only thing that can bring across power. I didn't know that, but turns out it's true. If we chuck all of these down and plug them into some power, you can see it's got a consumption of 5. Requires electricity, blah, 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 efficiency, all that grand. But if we come across to the other side and do the same again, we chuck down a bunch of these harpoons over here. You notice they've also got little power connectors on them, and damn it, I need to do some mining or platform placement. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 on this side, 5 on this side, and we should be able to just hit dock. And boom. Now you can see this line here has started to gun all shiny. That means there's power going through it. Namely, there's actually 5 power going through it. In fact, if you undock it again, you can see the line is no longer shiny. It has lost all power. So let's stock that up again. Okay, did that just move the whole... You know what? Never mind, it's fine. We've got power going through on this side. Now let's throw down something that requires a little power. Give us a mine over here somewhere. Mining drill. Actually, we'll go with a giant drill. Let me find something to chuck this on. What we have done is placed down a large mining drill, a giant drill. This thing takes 8 power to run at maximum efficiency. Now we're going to plug this in to the 5 power we've got coming from over here. See, this is producing 5 power, and this side is consuming it. So this is actually able to transfer 5 power from this side to this side. So all we have to do is hook this up right here. Second. And then if we pop over to here, you'll notice it's on, but its efficiency is only 62%. Because we've got 5 of 8 power. But still, look at the speed of that thing. Ooh. Anyway, that thing will drill through all of that. However, if we want more power, we would just have to hook up more of them. Though there's, let me show you the dumb parts about this. I have disconnected this down here because these things can be either consumers or producers, and there's no way to differentiate between the two. So let's say we get this side and we plug power into it. 1 second. And we plug power into all of those. Now what's happened is these are actually classified as consumers. They're consuming 5 power. Our efficiency has just plummeted over here. Let's see. We're at 17% efficiency because each one of these is consuming 5 power. However, one moment. Let's just dock you up and dock you up and dock you up, and 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 25 power. We should definitely be at 100% productivity over here. I'm doing that 100% efficiency because we've got 25 power to draw on this side. Now this is not... This is doable, but it takes a bunch of effort and you have to put down a whole bunch of platforms and stuff. It's usually just far easier to throw a bunch of carbon at the problem and throw down some carbon power production. For example, over here, instead of running a bunch of those across, just threw down 4 of these things. Each one produces 10 power, so it's worth 2 of those docks over there. Then you stick down one of these storage containers, dump in a bunch of carbon ore. Carbon ore gets split up and sent into all of these with a few splitters, and you're finished. That provides more than enough power to run all these mining drills, and if we just pop back over here, how are we looking? 122 aluminum ore. Thank you kindly. So, I think it's actually just better to use those drills than it is to just set up multiple ones of these. Now, I tried using these to see if there's any way to get electricity through them, but there is not, unfortunately. These things can put in transport belts. For example, if you hit in there, you see, now there's a transport belt going through that section. And you can destruct it and make it an outbound one, so you can transport stuff in and out. It just really depends how much production you want to put on an island or how much raw resources you want to rip across. But these mines, they are very productive. That is 70 titanium ore, and we just turned that on a few seconds ago. Well, a few minutes ago. very, very handy. I definitely recommend these mining drills. They're far, far superior to all of those bots over there. It's just finding the flat piece of land to use them is difficult. That thing over there is basically a giant ball, and all of the good resources are stored inside it. So you see the robots are going all the way over and then drilling all the way down to find the ores. Much handier. Trying to do this with a mining drill would be almost impossible. So, to speed up this whole not having to worry about putting power on everything, we've decided to put down these things. And on this island, they're collecting uranium. And uranium we're going to turn into fuel rods, and the fuel rods we should be able to jump into some nuclear-powered reactor things. And that I am hoping will solve all our power problems on remote islands. Instead of having to do this whole setup, which is kind of annoying depending on how the island shakes out, requires a bunch of setup and prep, I'd prefer to be able to just throw it at a reactor and be done with it. Question is, what does it actually take to make the reactors? Now, under utilities, we're going to find this thing, the nuclear reactor. It requires a metal frame, which requires, I think it's titanium, I want to say that's titanium rods and steel wire, which we do actually have access to. We can make those. Where we produce that metal frame, I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. And then we also need graphene, which is made from compressed carbon and what looks like titanium plates. Those we actually have access to as well. So we just got to figure out what machines take these things, and then we should be able to put ourselves together a nuclear reactor. We just need 4 of those and 4 of those. Let's actually go for 8, just because we can. Turns out the metal frames were under the advanced constructor. We researched that a while ago. It's not that difficult to get your hands on, but we're going to give that 16 titanium rods, and then we're going to have to give it 32 wire, and that should produce the 8 or so metal frames we are looking for. However, we've ran into a little bit of a problem. If we want to produce the, the graphene, we are going to need to produce an advanced manufacturer. Problem is, to make an advanced manufacturer, we're going to need a stone plate, and to produce a stone plate, we're going to need to build a circular saw. A circular saw requires us to get glass, which we also don't have. Now, where did we get glass again? Glass is produced by the advanced smelter, and it's produced from quartz. So we take quartz to turn that into glass. How much of that do we need? We need 4. Okay, so we need 4 of that. We'll just pop over here. And how much do you need to make that glass? Just the 1? That's actually going to be a lot simpler than I thought. Now, where's our quartz? You, just give us 10. That should give us the necessary glass. Then we can put together the sawmill in a second. And this is what a sawmill looks like. I can't believe we're making a sawmill in space. And that the sawmill is like this far down the tech tree. You can put wood through this. So it can chop up logs. We're in space. And the first thing you do is start making iron and steel. And then you go backwards and start making logs at a later date. Makes no sense. But we're not going to question it. Not going to question. Just give us a 20 stone. So the 20 stone's going to get turned... 4 stone plate a piece for each piece of stone. That's good, because I have no idea how to actually harvest stone. I can get quartz pretty reliably. So that gives us the stone plate. Now, what did we want that stone plate for? So that we could make the advanced manufacturer. Alright, let's just chuck one of these down somewhere. We're not even hooking these into any type of construction system. We're just trucking them in wherever they will fit for now. Ooh. This is where we get all these things. Now, where is the advanced ones we wanted? We have run into a little bit of a problem trying to make nuclear power. It wants us to produce graphene. Unfortunately, to produce graphene, we need another technology. So this is the technology we need, graphene over here. This is where we get nuclear energy. This is where we get graphene. So, right. That means we need to open that up, which requires a different type of technology, namely that sciencey... Well, where is it? It's the satellite technology thing. This stuff back here, which requires us to have electronics and aluminium blocks. Now, the aluminium blocks we've got, but we need to mass produce those little electronic things at once. Okay, so over to our mass production section. Yeah, this is maybe expanded a little bit. There are some really actually cool things they've introduced in this, or work in this. So, for example, this is the splitter. It's the 3-way splitter. You can select this and you can change its ratio of split. So what I've got this doing is half of it is going to the right, which is into this constructor. The other half is going straight on and getting pushed across into the other constructor. So that means I'm able to split this perfectly evenly between these two, or I could split it perfectly evenly between 3. 1 right, 1 straight on, 1 right, 1 straight on. And it will keep doing that perfectly without issue. So this allows you to flow control really easily where everything goes. Also, multi-leveling your transport belts is pretty handy, so you're able to multi-level stuff up and down. This has turned out to be really easy to do stuff. The thing is, it takes you forever because you keep getting tied up and figuring out how am I going to squeeze this in here and do this, that, and the other. I can't help myself. But now, we have to put together those electronics. So we're going to need either an advanced manufacturer or actually a regular manufacturer will probably do. That requires electronic parts to be made. The electronic parts are made in a constructor, and the electronic parts themselves are made out of wire. Wire is produced again in another one of the manufacturers. So the manufacturers produce the wire. The wire then goes to a constructor to get turned into electronics, and then it goes back to a constructor to get turned into motherboards. Yeah, this is going to be confusing, isn't it? This little factory here is what's going to produce all of our electronic parts. Now, you don't need huge quantities of these things, so we're not, well, sorry, motherboards, but we're going to actually use it to produce electronic parts and motherboards, and we're only going to use, well, 2 real buildings to do it. This over here is just going to be the smelters, this here is the raw resource inputs. So this is the factory that's going to get it all running. Now, actually, let's change this now. We're going to change this all to copper ore. Every single last one of these. Now, changing these to copper ore means they will attempt to prioritize copper asteroids in the surrounding area. It doesn't mean they'll always get copper asteroids, it just means they're going to try. Oh, damn, we already hooked up the power to all of these. Right, let's give it a minute for them to switch over to copper asteroids and then clear out all of the gunk that's going to be caught in there. This might take a second. Okay, we are good to go. Let's fire this up because there's some interesting things you can do with the mechanics they've got in this game. We'll have all of that come down here. So copper's going to come down here, and this stuff is pretty straightforward. Any of the ores, the 3 ores you can get, copper, iron, or gold, all of that will get shunted across here, and it's going to get split 50-50 due to this little thingy right here. This is the splitter. We've got set it up 50-50 mix. Go for it. They all get spread across. Now, these advanced smelters can turn it into copper ore at a pretty good clip, and then it either comes at the back of this one, and down here, or it comes at the front of, well, the back of this one as well, and goes across. All of the copper ore is going to get shunted into this machine. And there you go, there you go, there you go. Then that copper ore is going to get turned into copper plate. That copper plate is going to come down here. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That copper plate gets shunted into this machine, which turns it into copper wire. And the copper wire gets shunted at the back, and all of the copper wire is going to go straight up here and right back into the exact same machine. Thing is, this thing can run both parts at the same time. So you don't need 2 separate machines. These things can do, in fact, they can run all of these recipes simultaneously. So we might as well take advantage of that. So now that it's got the copper wire, it's churning out electronics. Where is it? Yeah, where's my electronic parts, people? Ah, here you go. There's the electronic parts. They come down here, get chucked back into this machine. Well, 50% of them will get put back into this machine in a minute. Any minute now. And the other 50% get shunted at this side. So half of these are going to get sent over to storage. The other half are going to get dumped into this. And I'm already noticing that we've got way too many copper plates. I think we're going to have to put down a second one of these manufacturers. How are we going to do that? Let me think about this for a minute. Oh, yes. And when the electronics are complete, as in when it produces the motherboard things over here, they get sent out here and straight down this side, where I should probably rotate that. There you go. And I think we need a second one of these manufacturers down here to make this thing more efficient. It is squeezing things in, and we've got ourselves 2 manufacturers churning out all of the copper wire to make all of the, whatever you even making in electronic parts, which then get turned into motherboards. Also, we could finish out the research. That was it. So we could start using a nuclear reactor. We will take those 8 motherboards. That gives us 10. I'm not even sure how much of this we need for the research. You guys, I want you to make space science. It's going to require aluminum and motherboards. Perfect. So, yeah, just take 225. We don't care. And take the 10 motherboards. Oh, God. They're only going to be able to make 2 space science with that. How much space science do we need to make the refined carbon? Because it's going to take a while. We need 5. Okay. Okay, so we only need 5 of the space science, which means 20. So 20 motherboards. Easy peasy. We can get that in a few minutes. Research complete. We now have enough points to research. Just knock this out, which it did automatically because we had it selected. Pity that. I really wish I'd caught that on camera. Anyway, this is finished. We can now produce the graphene we require to produce the nuclear reactor. So we need 4 of them. In fact, let's just grab 8 if at all possible. Advanced manufacturer. We would like ourselves some graphene. Okay, you need... So we're going to need 8 carbon fiber and 4 aluminum plate. Yeah, I think we left the carbon fiber over here. We're using this. Yeah, we got 488 of this stuff. Right, let's just dump in a few in this, and that should be the end of that. Perfect. Okay, now, once this is finished, we can start turning it, we can see if those nuclear reactors can allow us to strip mine these planets more easily. Okay, we've got all the bits and pieces required to make a nuclear reactor. In fact, we can make 2 of them. We still haven't made the nuclear rods, but that's fine. We are going to chuck this down here. Then we're going to plug in the power. Right there. And what's the output on this? Production 0. It can produce 50 watts. We just need to stick in some uranium rods. Uranium rods should not be a problem. I believe you just, if I'm not wrong, you just chuck them in here, do you? Yeah, you literally chuck them into a furnace, a smelter, and the smelter will smelt you up a whole bunch of uranium rods. I love the way it can do so many all at the same time with literally no slowdown. It's like, yeah, no problems. Okay, let's just chuck one in here and see how it works out. You, take a uranium rod. And 50 power lasts for 40 seconds. Right, we're going to need a lot of these, aren't we? If you can run 50 power and these things only need 4, I suppose the plan would be we would put down an absolute butt ton of these. Say, well, 10 of them would require 40 power. So, yeah, put down about another 10 of those and we can start strip mining all the uranium off this map. Once all the uranium's gone, we don't need to be here anymore. Well, this is definitely an energy positive process. We are up to about 236 uranium rods in there, and all of these have about 30 uranium or so. I'll have to come back and harvest them at some point. But more importantly, we're finished with this island over here. This place has been strip mined. We came for the gold. We got the gold. In fact, how much gold have we got left? I will take all of those, and I will take all of those. You see, we came here for the gold so we could churn out masses of solar, which has happened successfully. Oh, those smelters are almost empty. What happened there? You got 107 gold bars, you got that. You know what? We'll split you. Why not? We will split you in half, and we shall put them in there. Now, the reason for all of that was so that we could get so much wire that we could make this solar sea over here. God, each one of these is worth 1 power. So it means that we don't really need to build any more power on our core island. Our core island is just swimming in it. And if we need any more, we can just go in and build even more of the stuff because we have 9,259 wire. Every 3 wire allows us to build another solar panel. But I think we're good. We're good for now. However, since that island is no longer necessary, we have disconnected it from us. And now we're going to fly away. So, this is the control panel thingy. What's it? Control panel. It literally actually is the control panel thingy. What's it? I just thought I was making up a name there. Alright, this thing requires some glass and some computers. Pretty handy to make, to be honest. All it needed was some gold wire and some of those computers we just made. Those computer chips, and we already had those on hand. And some glass, which we had just learned recently how to make when we were making the nuclear reactors. So all of this stuff was actually just right on hand, ready to go. That allowed us to build this thing. Now, this thing is how you can control your... this is technically a space station, though considering the size of it, never mind. We've put in a bunch of engines down here. And there's 6 engines facing every single direction. And if we come up here, you can see it's actually detected them. You can see there's 6 engines going north, south, east, and west. And we have disconnected from over there. Let's try something safe. Let's try going up. Okay, little bit. Ooh, you can see there in the background, we're actually rising up above that island. Let's go down a bit. Nice. All right, let's back up nice and slow. We just don't want to crash into that island. Let's back up. Oop. Did we just go left? Why are we going left? Oh, God. Okay, so north is forward. Wait. No, north... I know. We need to rotate. How do we rotate that? Or to rotate right. Perfect. Okay, so now we should technically be facing that direction, which means east is away from that thing. Yep, there we go. All right. So this is now facing the right direction. East is this way. Perfect. Now we're far away from the island and we don't have to care about it. But next up, we have to find a new island to go to, somewhere else that we can strip mine. And I'm not even sure what we want. We still are actually hooked into 2 islands. What is next? Well, an island with gold and uranium would seem like a good choice. That allows us to increase our solar while simultaneously netting us a whole bunch more uranium for power. We'll just bookmark that one, and actually, we'll unbookmark that one. So we want to go to Nipazo Prime. Now, does this thing allow us to autopilot towards it? Autopilot active? Uh, Autopilot keeps space station movement direction and maximizes thruster usage. Well, we have bookmarked the location we want to go, which is Nipazo Prime over there. That's going to be... And I would like to maybe dock it on that side where we've got the space because, well, we've got an asteroid there, one there, and, well, that's where we're kind of collecting stuff. And over here we've got our sort of solar sea going on. So if we just reverse that sucker... Oh. What just happened? Did we just almost fly off the platform? Yep, stay. Stay on the platform. There we go. Why? Where's Nipazo? It's down there, and we seem to be reversing quite fast. Oh my god. You are just about where we want you, so instead we'll go east. And you should pass under us, checking the map. Where are we? Can we actually sell... Oh, it's not moving when we're on the map. I was really hoping it would. Never mind. Where are you, Nipazo? We can literally see it passing underneath us. Once it's off the other side, we'll start going down. This is a far more convenient way of navigating. Also, you get to look around a bit more. What is... Are we passing through a nebula? That is cool. Can't be good for the frames, though. Okay, Nipazo's coming out the other side. Wait, I'm pronouncing it wrong, am I? Pazza? Never mind, it's Nipazo now. I think it's time to full speed a stop, and then down. Alright then. This thing should be coming up on that side in no time at all. Can we see it? No, not quite. Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. How hard can it be? We just don't want to crash into it. Coming up on our left over there, you can see there's a wee bit of an island. Let's just slow this down a tad. Immediate stop, please. Yeah, I just want to reorient it as... Oh, actually, I can just move the window. That's much simpler. We can just move forward, and maybe curve in a bit. Oh god, this is so much easier. Before you used to just have to cut power all the time and do all sorts of weird stuff. Now we can just, like, drag a thing about the place. And hopefully not crash into it. Now, I think we can dock shortly. Perfect. Or probably. How far away are we? Oh god, we're miles away. Optical illusion. Okay, fine. Just give me a minute to do the fine-tuning and get it nice and close to this thing. Well, I may have parked just a tad close. We can back up a bit. At least we know there's no collision damage. That's good to know. Perfect. That is an excellent parking job. We're going to call that a total success. Now we just got to strip mine this place as quickly as we possibly can. I'm thinking we're just going to build a platform on the other side. It might just be simpler that way instead of trying to hook onto the land in some weird way or mine the land. Perfect. That should allow us to just grab this one, hit dock, and boom. Then once that one's locked out, we can tie in the other 4, and we've got 20 power on this side and probably a nuclear reactor to follow. There it is. It's a little bit more automated than our last attempt. Okay, so this line here is where there's separation between church and state, so to speak. This is our island. This line here, is the other island. And then all we've done is stuck down a bunch of these automated spider bot miner things that fly out, grab some uranium, they dump it back into these buildings. Those buildings spit out the uranium, and it all goes back across here. It's brought to our island. We don't even have to go and collect it anymore. It just comes to us. In fact, we could just plug this into any uranium island we run into. All that stuff gets shuffled over here, and we've even got it feeding straight into an advanced smelter. And we can even stockpile some stuff, do whatever. This makes things so much simpler. Oh, and the whole thing is powered by one nuclear reactor. So this nuclear reactor provides all the power necessary to run all of that, and we're done. We can then strip mine the uranium off that island, and it's a whole power-positive, energy-positive process. But I would like to find another island. See, the thing is, we have some good stuff here, but I'd like more. More resources, more everything. 3,000 titanium. No, none of these are any good. I'd say... Ooh, that's a bunch of aluminum and titanium. No, I want something with about 10,000 titanium and 10,000 aluminum. So what happens if we just start picking a direction and traveling in it? Let's just go north. Let's just travel north and see if we run into any new islands. Full speed ahead. And yeah, we're now carrying that island with us as well. I don't know what these thrusters are made of, but if I was the research crew, I probably wouldn't stand behind those things. They've got to be like toasting something. The laws of physics don't really seem to apply here anymore. Oh, we also managed to strip mine this island, so I think it's time we did a little bit of reversing away from this one as well. We don't need this anymore. Let's maybe take it... Let's go up it a bit. Yeah, there we go. Up, up, and away. And then we can just blitz forward again. How's the map looking? Anything new showing up? Boring. Let's hope something good shows up on the horizon soon. Say hello to Kronos over there. Kronos is actually quite a nice island. It's got about 90,000 titanium on it. Do we need that much titanium? Probably not. Do we want that much titanium? Oh, hell yes. Hells yes. Come on, over a little bit, over a little bit. Oh my god, that's terrible driving. Stop, stop, stop. Right. Yeah, we just need to find a nice place to park. Maybe just don't put all our solar panels through there. I think they'll be fine. They can walk it off. Yeah, there. Okay, give me some time to line this up. I think we are going to be strip mining this thing. It's huge. After a little bit of production, we now have all of this built up. One nuclear reactor, a bunch of these miners, and a whole bunch of bots that are coming along to start the mining. Each one of these is set to go grab us some titanium. Considering the amount of titanium deposits on this map, what are we looking at? Kronos has 85,779 titanium, which means we shouldn't run out of titanium for... Well, yeah, I don't think we're going to run out of titanium. That's basically it. Now I think we feed all of that into a couple of smelters and put that into storage. That should be fairly handy, and then that just solves titanium as a problem. Then we just need to find about 80,000 aluminum. A little bit of expansion right there, and I finally feel like I've got a handle on this game. All of this is taking in the titanium, and then it turns it into titanium rods. Titanium rods get spit out the other side, and done. So now we have a stockpile of titanium rods feeding into our system. And there's 80,000 of it to draw from over there, so we're not going to run out anytime soon. This has about, we've got about 300 uranium rods in all of our reactors around the place. According to my math, that puts us about 3 hours and 20 minutes of power to keep these running. At which point, well, actually, not really a problem. We've got another 700 in storage, so we've definitely got more than enough uranium to keep this whole thing ticking over. And I think I know, like... Up until this point, I was finding it kind of annoying having to go around and keep flying up to new islands. It was a little bit fun at first, but you knew that was going to become annoying having to build up and strip everything down. But that basically is just an endgame amount of titanium. We might have to double the amount of miners over there, but that's okay. I stockpiled a few just in case. But double that up, twice as much uranium, you're good to go. Now all you need is like a proper uranium island, or maybe another power source. There's a fusion power source later on down the tech tree, and then aluminum. So aluminum, titanium. Once you've got both of those sorted in vast quantities, you can just basically knock out the last of the tech. Anyway, I was only supposed to do one more episode of this, but I think I'm going to do one more. Thing is, we're not at the end yet, and there's a thing there involving black holes and stargates and fusion energy, and I don't care about the shepherding. Though I am interested in the energy transmission. If we can do energy transmission... Actually, can we grab that now? We cannot get that. 1 second. These things are way better than nuclear reactors. Well, okay, when you have a sea of solar, it definitely works out. You build one of these things, you plug it into your grid, and it can fire power. So, there we go. It consumes 50 power. It's firing it right over here. And this thing is producing 100 power? What? Network load 32, 56 power. You know what? Let's try removing all the fuel rods. Are they burning? Yeah, they're burning at the moment. Fine. No more fuel rods for you. Let's see what happens when the 40 seconds expire. Will this thing keep running, and will everyone be running at max power? Or, stop faffing about, just disconnect the nuclear reactor from the grid. And done. We can now transmit 100 power to any island. Oh, that just makes things far simpler. Instead of having to chuck down a couple of nuclear reactors, and we can dump the nuclear reactors onto our own island anyway. They're not wasted. We can use the power and generate it on our own islands. But now that we can transmit power over like that, that makes running islands easy. We have a way of transmitting enough power that it's not so silly. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, okay. I'll just do one more episode on this, but it'll be like Friday or something. But just, I know I should be done with this one, but I can't, right? I just got to finish it out and see where it goes. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.